So very good afternoon to one and all. So welcome back to Software Diary. So I know people who are waiting for the Python series. So there is a very interesting update. So I am planning to launch not only Python, but complete full stack course with detailed explanation. So people who are already subscribed to my channel, so they might be knowing that we are continuously uploading YouTube shorts on daily basis to learn the basics of Python. And also I'm uploading few advanced programs to compare junior developer and senior developer. So just for learning perspective. But after the series of videos, I found out that there are many beginners who want to completely learn Python from the scratch till the advanced concepts like frameworks and also about full stack development. So what I'll do is in today's video, I'll just discuss what all topics we'll be covering over the coming days. So I'll list one by one. I'll be talking about it and then we'll start our course very soon. So people who are new to the channel, then definitely subscribe the channel and also press the bell icon to get instantly notified. And if you're liking our efforts, so do like the videos as well. It motivates us to upgrade the content on a regular basis. So firstly, we'll classify our complete course into different phases. So in the first phase, basically, we'll start our discussion about the core Python programming, right? So the basic Python programming in the sense like what is Python? So what are the basic concepts that is included in the Python? So then we'll go step by step with the variables, data types. So these are all the basic things that we'll try to cover. So people might already be having idea who have watched the shorts video, but elaborately in depth, we'll try to discuss about variables or data types. So then we'll move forward with control flow statements, like you might be knowing idea about if statement, else statement or elif statement. So remember one thing. So why I'm starting with Python, not any other language, because Python is very easy to understand, a beginner friendly language. So if you master this one particular language, so it will be easy for you to understand any programming language, whether it is Java or C++, whatever it is. So later in your career stage, you might pick up any other language and it will be easy for you to understand. Because once you learn the easiest thing, so later things also will be much more simpler for you because few concepts will be repetitive. Right. So then we'll also discuss about object-oriented programming, and that is the first phase. So that we'll be covering. So after that, we'll also be discussing about in the phase two. So we'll be discussing about Python libraries. So these are very, very important because many people prefer Python language only because of its vast libraries, whether it is NumPy, right? Or you can take it as a Pandas, or you can take it as a Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is basically used for data visualization, and then Pandas is used basically for data analysis. And even if you take the consideration of NumPy, it is basically used for numerical computations, like you know about mathematical functions, array operations. So mainly it is used in data science and machine learning. Right. So this is the phase two part that we'll be covering. And then in the phase three, which is very, very important, we learn about version control. Why we are learning about version control? Because at the any corporate level, let's say if you're getting placed into any company, so when you enter into the professional phase, so basically you're working with a group of people. It's not like you're only the person who will be working on the entire project. So you'll be having a team. So basically, whatever the teamwork is happening, like one person might be working on some other issue, you are working on some other development, right? So to track all the changes that are happening on that particular project, we'll basically study about Git, right? So Git is basically a version control system. To be more precise, it is a distributed version control system. So basically tracks the history of changes that is happening to your project. So there are basic commands like push, pull, get. So many operations will be there. So that we'll discuss once we enter that particular phase three. right? So, and also we'll be discussing about GitHub Copilot. See, now everything is AI, so everything is getting automated to a certain extent. So following that particular path to make our work easy is also very important. So we'll be discussing about GitHub Copilot as well. So which will give us suggestions related to code, and also it helps in auto compiling what are the logic we are trying to work on. All right. So next in the fourth stage, we are going to discuss about front-end development, which is very, very important. So why are we discussing about front-end development? So already I mentioned to you, right? So we are going to discuss completely about Python full stack. So firstly, if anybody is completely new, if they're in their college phase, or even if they're too early to learn about Python full stack development, so first thing you need to understand what is full stack development, right? Or what, who is a full stack developer? So it is classified into basically four things. I'll explain to you very clearly. So listen to me very carefully. First thing, it is front end. Second one is back end. Third one is database. And fourth one is basically cloud. So front end is nothing but what the user sees. So once you open any particular website, the first thing that you see, first thing that is visible to you, that is known as the front end, whatever the user is seeing. So for that, we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So you might have heard about this, right? React JS. So these are completely the languages which we use for the front end development. So to create a static page, we use front end. And next we have backend. So what is backend? Backend is the server side logic, right? So to make the web page, whatever web page you have made, created using the static language. So to make it dynamic, to make it interactive, right? To make it, you know what? Once you click it or it turns, go to another page, it takes your details and etc. like that. So that completely comes under the backend, right? And next, if I talk about database, so what is database? Database is nothing but something which stores your data. So let's say you're entering a user ID, you're entering your password, you're entering your details, right? So everything it is getting stored in the database. And last one is the fourth topic, that is cloud development. Right. So cloud, what is cloud development, right? So everything is stored in the cloud. So once you are done with the project, right, you host it somewhere, right, in online. So that is completely in the cloud. It runs everywhere. It is globally accessible, right? So that particular cloud development, to be more specific, we'll be talking about AWS, Amazon Web Services. So there are n number of services. So we'll try to discuss the basic things or whatever is necessary for our course. So that we'll try to cover in the AWS part. All right. So hope everything is clear. What are the phases we talked about? Phase one, phase two, phase three. And in that we talked about phase four, front-end development. So in that, as I mentioned, like HTML, you take about HTML, you take about CSS, right? So JavaScript. So, and see, this is going to be a lengthy course. I'm expecting some patience because we'll try to discuss completely from scratch, right? You know about HTML, CSS, you might have learned in your 10th grade, right? To make your page static, CSS to add some colors, images, right? Layouts, fonts, everything to make it responsive. You can use CSS. JavaScript, as I mentioned, JavaScript, you make sure your interactive, your web page becomes interactive. And also we'll be talking about React JS as well. So that is also one of the most important framework of JavaScript. So then in the phase 5, so remember this, in the phase 5, so we'll be discussing about one backend framework. See, in the backend, either you can use Node.js or you can discuss about Django. So according to me, tell me in the comment section which one do you prefer. But for me, I'm comfortable with Django framework. So it is a very good Python web development framework. So that we'll try to discuss, like we'll discuss various functions of it, right? Various features of it. So from basics, so don't worry about it. So that also we'll try to cover. And then, as I told in the database part, I'll be discussing about MySQL, right? So in the MySQL, we'll be discussing about tables, data insertion. So all the things, right? So database is very important. So we can't neglect that. And AWS, as I mentioned, we'll discuss various services like EC2 instances, S3 buckets, RDS. There are n number of services. So I'll try to cover all those things. So finally, what I'm trying to conclude is once you watch this complete course, so you'll be able to become a full stack developer. right? So with AI, how we can advance ourselves, because AI is emerging very fast. So many people are worried, especially will front end. So that is one biggest question, or will complete full stack go away? So this is basic thing. But first thing you need to remember that you need to have the basic idea of how to code. So that is the basic thing. So if you don't know how to code, so these things will be very difficult to understand. So forget about AI for time being. So we'll use AI to ease our work, but not to completely replicate our work. Okay. So that is one thing you need to remember. So this is the basic highlights that I have talked. So total 5 phases are there. And in that you can, if you include cloud and all this thing database, it will be total 7 phases. So I'll cover one by one, okay, in depth, clearly. So don't worry about it, and make sure you have subscribed the channel. And if you like the intro, so definitely like it. I'm expecting a good number of likes on this particular video, so it motivates to create the content in a faster and smoother way. So thank you for watching.